All right, standing here with Sylvia from New Hampshire. I got that right?
Right, I'm from Littleton, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. And you've agreed to debate with me about the whole Tea Party, you know, whether it was taken over, how bad or good it is, and the conflict with the Occupy Wall Street. And anyway, I guess I find it fascinating the way the Tea Party thing. How so many Tea Partiers don't seem to like Occupy Wall Street at all, and Occupy Wall Street doesn't seem to like the Tea Partiers very much.
I think there's a good reason for that. The truth of the matter is, I don't know if you heard the statement from Mr. Van Jones, but he basically said, if you don't agree with the Tea Party, then stand with us. And us is this whole movement that's been spawned. And I think a lot of well-meaning people have gone over to that movement, people that really should be standing with us. We were the ones that were flooding the switchboards saying, don't bail these people out. This was during the Bush final year of the Bush administration. We were the ones that were saying, no, this is wrong. There's a system in place to take care of these failures, and it should be allowed to operate, and do not use taxpayer money to bail these people out. These people should have been standing with us. I guess they were asleep, and now they're just waking up, and many of them are young.
They now are doing something against the bailouts.
They're young,
yeah.
And hopefully they're getting that they are the debt slaves, because that's the reason so many of us got involved in the Tea Party. We've had a nice life. I'm 66 years old, but I look at my son, and I look at the life any grandchildren that come on will have from this horrendous debt that was so unnecessary, and these people in Washington are just spending lunatics. They won't stop. So what could happen, I think, I've been asked this by other people. I'm the Tea Party coordinator in Littleton. I don't see that Occupy Wall Street came from the same groundswelling of grassroots that the Tea Party did. I see quite a few differences. We, at our rallies, we always clean up afterwards. We're respectful to people. I have never seen any case of anyone being shoved or insulted at Tea Party rallies, and I was at one where there was at least 1.8 million people in 2009. I saw nothing like that. In fact, people were so polite, and you couldn't help but bump into people, and people would say, excuse me. It was like you were out in the prairies, even in the midst of all these people. So, and I just came from a DC event where the Occupy DC people were intimidating participants, trying to get from the convention center to their hotel. People were hurt. Supposedly, I haven't checked this out, but supposedly the police chief told the police to just let the demonstrators be. Well, that's fine, except people were hurt and intimidated, and this is wrong. We don't do this in the Tea Party.
Well, with the agreement on, I find it kind of strange that I'm trying to insert more agreement into a disagreement. But if you think about it, there's a huge agreement on the bailouts. The Occupy Wall Street people are against the bailouts, and isn't there a way that they can come together and with a win-win solution of some kind?
They have a huge sense of entitlement, many of these people. What we are about in the Tea Party is getting rid of this sense of entitlement. My mother told me every day of my life, the world does not owe you a living. The world does not. We need to be creating self-reliant people who take care of themselves, who don't sit around and wait for the government to bail them out, the government being us, other people who are working. Who don't whine because they have to pay for their college education. We need self-reliant people. This is how this country was built. You know, like here at these demonstrations, you'll frequently see these signs that say, unions built this country. I always say, no, self-reliance built this country. And what the Tea Party is about is getting people to have the dignity to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, not depend on federal bailouts, which are all designed to get people's votes, but they make people dependent on the government. That was not the way this country was created. So this is a big difference between these two groups. We don't have that sense of entitlement. We're asking for less. We're asking, get off our backs. Stop interfering in the businesses. Stop over-regulating. Stop telling dairy farmers they have to have a spill containment policy because there's oil in the milk. That's absurd. But this is what happens when things get out of control. So unless some of these people have been calling in I think I've heard a couple of the talk shows, maybe Hannity show or something, saying that they've changed their mind after they've been down there for a while, and I hope they'll come join us. This is where they belong. If they
well,
really
I'm just glad that you guys are still out there to join. I haven't seen as many Tea Party rallies as I like to see them. I like to see both kinds of rallies because it's all questioning the government. So I'm just glad you're out there.
Well, we're here and we're working at the local level. We're trying to work on school boards and work, within the Republican Party to make it more receptive. There are elements of the Republican Party that are not particularly supportive of some of the candidates that we feel are good for this country. So we're working, and but we're not out protesting, hurting people, and leaving places.
Well, I don't know. It's a little unfair. There's not very many occupiers that are doing that.
Well, I have to say, I'm basing on my experience in Washington, D.C., I'm not impressed. My son tells me in Brooklyn he's walked around down there and things have been fine. But you have to go by your personal experience.
Right,
certainly
right.
I was not impressed by the thuggery that
believe what you see, not what you hear.
And they're right.
All right, thanks, Sylvia.
Verify.
Appreciate your time.
Well, my pleasure. It's nice talking to you.